I am departing Chattanooga, Tennessee, and headed east deep into the heart of Appalachia. My destination is a rather rural location near the westernmost point of North Carolina, but there will be some quintessentially southern roadside relics along the way. In particular, I am seeking out Rock City barns and Harrison maize crosses. Just outside of Cleveland, Tennessee at a church parking lot, I have found the first Harrison maize cross of the day. This cross was created by and placed near here by Mr. Henry Harrison Maize, a man from Middlesboro, Kentucky who at the age of 19 survived a near-death coal mining accident. From then on, he dedicated his life to spreading the word of God, and starting around 1945 he began traveling around the country planting these crosses and other concrete signs along the American roadside. While there used to be hundreds and hundreds of these, there are now very few left out in the wild. Road improvement projects and the elements have destroyed many of them. Based on my research and the wonderful resource provided by folkvisions.com, the largest concentration of surviving maize works outside of his hometown region is right around here in eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina. I should also mention the Museum of Appalachia in Clinton, Tennessee, which has an amazing maize collection. Here's another Get Right With God cross on the side of the road in Ocoee, Tennessee. These are cast cement markers which were challenging for Maize to get around, especially since he could not drive. Maize would actually hire people to take him around the south in his efforts to place these markers, and he could only take a couple per trip. Also, he was usually placing these illegally against the highway code, but he thought that warning people to get right with God superseded the law. We are now passing through the Cherokee National Forest, with a beautiful drive on Route 74 along the Ocoee River. There is no escaping Buc-ee's. I noticed some Olympic flags here. Turns out that is because the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Games held their whitewater rafting competitions at this location here on the Ocoee River. Now in North Carolina, here's another once commonplace but now extremely rare roadside phenomenon. The Rock City Barn. Rock City Gardens atop Lookout Mountain near Chattanooga is one of the greatest roadside attractions of all time. In fact, it was my destination the previous evening. Starting in 1935, the owners of Rock City hired a man named Clark Byers to travel around and advertise the attraction by offering to paint farmers' barns in exchange for turning it into a billboard for Rock City. By the time Byers retired in the 60s, he had painted over 900 barns like this across 19 states, establishing an iconic advertising methodology. However, there are sadly only around 50 Rock City barns left and they keep disappearing. This is a phenomenal surviving example, but the roof is sagging a bit. Oh boy! Well, here in Murphy, North Carolina, I found this gem of an American institution. Cherokee Guns really has it all. Guns, Trump, and dinosaurs. God bless America. Here at the Calvary Hill Baptist Church in Murphy, there is a prime example of the Harrison Mays heart-shaped sign. This is arguably his most iconic roadside evangelist art form. The paint is fading a bit, but it's in pretty good shape given its age. Mays would often label these on the side. This one doesn't have it, but he would mark some for other destinations that he could not reach himself, like foreign countries or other planets like Jupiter. Yes, he was apparently very serious about spreading the message to aliens on far-off worlds, and predicted that space travel would be commonplace by the 2020s. Here on a lonely creekside back road near Murphy, North Carolina, I have located another Harrison Mays cross. Sadly, the bottom of this one has crumbled off, so it just says Jesus is coming. You can see the inner rebar frame of the cross cast. Many of the crosses are not structurally sound. The bottoms falling out as well as deterioration from the elements are probably how a lot of these crosses go. I believe that several of the extant crosses have had this issue, but it's great that this one is still hanging in there. That looks like it could be a hand-painted Mays sign. It's definitely in his style and he was obviously here. That is not Harrison Mays, but close. The reason I have come all the way out here is because there is an even more monumental religious site amongst these mountains. In fact, the world's largest 10 Commandments is located far off on a rural road near Murphy. The Fields of the Wood is a fascinating 1940s Pentecostal attraction, which is featured in a separate video that is linked in the description. Now I'm heading back northwest into Tennessee. There is yet another classic Rock City bar near Sweetwater, Tennessee. This one is unique because it says to bring your camera. Of course, it wasn't so easy or inexpensive back then to bring a camera. Technology has really come a long way since this was made. I'm glad to see that so early on a dynamic and successful tourist attraction was encouraging visitors to take photographs, who would in turn provide free publicity for the attraction. There are some places even today in our digital social media world that still have not learned or refuse to learn that lesson. That is so awesome. It's always great to find these few surviving pieces of Americana. I hope you enjoyed this little jaunt through Appalachia to see some good old Harrison Mays roadside evangelism and Rock City barns. If you did, then please check out my other videos featuring all sorts of historic places, roadside attractions, natural wonders, and much more here in the American South, as well as across these United States and Europe. Additionally, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel too. Thanks for watching!